So the override, just be very careful when you're using the override to make sure that you don't have population of something in here and something in the override here. In the next column under the orders, you can um, you can create orders for this particular line item. Let's just go down to here, stable. So you can create orders here, and this is something that we'll go through in the next one in more detail. I really just want to orient you to this particular form right now. And each one of these line items has this grouping here. There's several more columns that go over. So on this one, you can look at the order. You could to edit it, or you can look at the order to just see what the suggested retail was going to be. This will make more sense once we get into it. AO, work order, means that as a fabricator, this would give production a heads up that there's something in this line item that production has got to pay attention to. Same with floral here. If there's a line item that that the producer needs floral to pay attention to, they give them a heads up here. And no order is if this were a header. So if this is a header, like we have pre-function, that's a header. There's no order expected. We would click off on that so that when we look at our auditing reports, that report doesn't pull up any red flags, because red flags are essential for especially building something this more complex. You want to know if there's a red flag way ahead of time. Then there's budget considerations. Service charge calculations you can do on this level. We get into that more in the development thing. You can view the P&L at any point if you're trying to play with numbers, but you've got a goal for your P&L, then you can view where the P&L is at this very moment in the process. Add-ons are normally once a contract has been signed and the client comes back and they make some changes, but they're going to allow you to bill for those changes with the initial invoicing, then those are add-ons. So add-ons fold into a contract. Addendums are separate. Addendums are normally reserved for after an event. So you can usually get a cutoff date 7 days before an event. So any changes from that point on will be put into an addendum, which is not folded into a contract. It is on its own separate contract. You can delete this line item. This just takes it off the view. It does not delete the data from the system. You can maintain and save all data by clicking this if you don't want to see that line item anymore. You can also retrieve it later. Commissionable, gets into the weeds a little bit. This is when you've got a salesperson involved in the process and you have to build in some kind of a commission for them in the budget. This would allow the system to know which line items are applicable to that particular commission. And then down here, there is another field. This has not been used since I've been with AOO, but it was used in other companies to indicate for accounting how to identify certain things with accounting's chart of accounts. Anyway, maybe also um, still not applicable. And then this, you can look at any line items that have been deleted. You can see that there've been a bunch here. All you would need to do is unclick delete if you wanted to retrieve it, and it brings it back to you again. And this gives you the phase number that you're on, and this is the line item that you've created. This again allows you to manipulate things so that you can move things around. You can change them to a different phase. You can change that phase to a different phase within the event, or you can change these phases to a whole different event if you want to. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but it might be too confusing, and if so, then I apologize, but I'm going to view this and see if it's confusing to me. All right, that's it for phases, I believe. We'll chat soon.